Afghanistan is about 6 times the size of Virginia. It has a population density of 135.5 people per square mile, or 52.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Panama. 58.1% of Afghanistan's land is agricultural, and 1.85% is forest. The official religion of the nation is Islam, which makes up 99.7% of the population. It has a median age of 19.5 years. 24.4% of the population is urban, and 75.6% is rural. Afghanistan has a GNI per capita of $500. Albania is a bit smaller than the state of Maryland. It has a population density of 253.2 people per square mile, or 97.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Armenia. 42.8% of Albania's land is used for agriculture, and 28.8% is forest. 56.7% of the nation follows Islam. It has a median age of 34.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77.6 years for males, and 80.6 for females. 39.7% of the population is rural, and 60.3% is urban. Albania has a GNI per capita of $5,210. The People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, or Algeria, is a bit bigger than the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It has a population density of 49.5 people per square mile, or 19.1 people per square kilometer, which is similar to New Zealand. 17.4% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, while 80% is desert. Islam is the official as well as the most common religion, which is followed by 99% of the country. The nation has a median age of 28.9 years, and has a life expectancy of 77.2 years for males, and 78.6 years for females. 72.6% of the population is urban, and 27.4% is rural. The Principality of Andorra, or Andorra, is more than twice the size of Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 443.6 people per square mile, or 171.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Micronesia. 40% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 34% is forest. The most common religion is Christianity, and the official language is Catalan. The nation has a median age of 46.2 years, and a life expectancy of 80.8 years for males, and 85.3 years for females. 11.9% of the country is rural, and 88.1% is urban. Andorra has a GNI per capita of $42,900. The Republic of Angola, or Angola, is almost twice as big as the state of Texas. It has a population density of 68.6 people per square mile, or 26.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Brazil. 45.7% of its land is agricultural, and 54.3% is forest. 41.1% of the population is Roman Catholic, and the official language is Portuguese, which is spoken by 71.2% of the nation. It is a median age of 15.9 years, and a life expectancy of 58.9 years for males, and 63 years for females. 65.5% of the population is urban, and 34.5% is rural. Angola has a GNI per capita of $2,230. Antigua and Barbuda is more than twice as big as the District of Columbia. It has a population density of 590.6 people per square mile, or 228.5 people per square kilometer, which is a bit more than Switzerland. 18.8% of the country's land is forest, and 20.5% is used for agriculture. The official language of the nation is English, and the most common religion is Protestant Christianity, which is followed by 68.3% of the population. It has a median age of 32.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 75.9 years for males, and 78.1 years for females. 75.4% of the country is rural, and 24.6% is urban. Antigua and Barbuda has a GNI per capita of $14,250. Argentina is a bit bigger than Kazakhstan. It has a population density of 42.9 people per square mile, or 16.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Mali. 53.9% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 10.7% is made up of forests. Argentina is the second largest country in South America, only ranking behind Brazil, and third ranked by population on the continent. It has a median age of 32.4 years, as well as a life expectancy of 73.2 years for males, and 80 years for females. 91.9% of the population is urban, and 8.1% is rural. Argentina has a GNI per capita of $8,930. The Commonwealth of Australia is a little bit smaller than the contiguous United States. It has a population density of 8.7 people per square mile, or 3.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Namibia. 46.65% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 17.42% is forest. 23.1% of the people are Protestant, whereas 22.6% are Catholic. It has a median age of 37.5 years. It also has a life expectancy of 81.2 years for males, and 85.3 years for females. 86% of the population is urban, and 14% is rural. Australia has a GNI per capita of $56,760. The Republic of Austria is a bit bigger than the United Arab Emirates. It has a population density of 278 people per square mile, or 107.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Cuba. 47.2% of the country's land is forested, and 38.4% is used for agriculture. German is the official language, which is spoken by 88.6% of the population, and 57% is Catholic. It has a median age of 44.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 84.2 years for females, and 79.5 years for males. 58.3% of the nation is urban, and 41.7% is rural. Austria has a GNI per capita of $51,390. The Republic of Azerbaijan is a bit bigger than Austria. It has a population density of 305 people per square mile, or 117.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Poland. 57.6% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 11.3% is made up of forests. Islam is the most common religion, which is followed by 97.3% of the population. The official language is Azerbaijani, which is spoken by 92.5% of the country. It has a median age of 32.6 years, and a life expectancy of 74 years for males, and 78.7 years for females. 44.3% of the nation is rural, and 55.7% is urban. Azerbaijan has a GNI per capita of $4,450. The Bahamas are a little bit smaller than the state of Connecticut. It has a population density of 70.6 people per square mile, or 28.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Palau. 51.4% of the country's land is made up of forests, and 1.4% is used for agriculture. Protestant Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 69.9% of the nation. It has a median age of 32.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 71.7 years for males, and 76.1 years for females. 83% of the nation is urban, and 17% is rural. The Bahamas have a GNI per capita of $31,780. The Kingdom of Bahrain is a bit bigger than Dominica. It has a population density of 4,806.7 people per square mile, or 1,865.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Maldives. 11.3% of the nation's land is used for agriculture. It is located on the Persian Gulf. The country has a median age of 32.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 81.6 years for females, and 77 years for males. 89.3% of the population is urban, and 10.7% is rural. Bahrain has a GNI per capita of $22,170. The People's Republic of Bangladesh is a bit bigger than Nepal. It has a population density of 2,990.2 people per square mile, or 1,163.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Malta. 70.1% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 11.1% is forestry. The country has a median age of 27.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 70.3 years for males, and 72.9 years for females. 63.4% of the nation is rural, and 36.6% is urban. Bangladesh has a GNI per capita of $2,010. Barbados is a bit smaller than Antigua and Barbuda. It has a population density of 1,636.1 people per square mile, or 631.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Lebanon. 19.4% of the nation's land is made up of forests. The official language is English, and the most common religion is Protestant Christianity, which is followed by 66.4% of the population. The country has a median age of 39.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77.8 years for males, and 80.5 years for females. 68.9% of the nation is rural, and 31.1% is urban. Barbados has a GNI per capita of $14,460. The Republic of Belarus is a bit smaller than Guyana. It has a population density of 115.7 people per square mile, or 44.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Colombia. 43.7% of its land is used for agriculture, and 42.7% is made up of forests. The nation has a median age of 40.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.4 years for females, and 69.2 years for males. Belarus has a GNI per capita of $6,330. The Kingdom of Belgium is a bit bigger than Lesotho. It has a population density of 978.6 people per square mile, or 377.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Philippines. 44.1% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 22.4% is made up of forests. Dutch, French, and German are the official languages of the nation, and the most common religion is Roman Catholicism, which is followed by 57.1% of the population. The country has a median age of 41.6 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.2 years for males, and 83.7 years for females. 98% of the country is urban, and 2% is rural. Belgium has a GNI per capita of $47,960. Belize is a bit smaller than Djibouti. It has a population density of 49.8 people per square mile, or 19.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Finland. 60.6% of the country's land is made up of forests, and 6.9% is used for agriculture. English is the official language, which is spoken by 62.9% of the population, and 40.1% of the nation is Roman Catholic. The country has a median age of 23.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 71.7 years for males, and 77.8 years for females. 55.2% of the population is rural, and 44.8% is urban. Belize has a GNI per capita of $3,970. The Republic of Benin is a bit smaller than the state of Pennsylvania. It has a population density of 293.9 people per square mile, or 113.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Turkey. 40% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 31.3% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 48.5% of the population, which is followed by Islam, which makes up 27.7% of the nation. The country has a median age of 17 years, as well as a life expectancy of 59.3 years for males, and 62.9 years for females. 52.7% of the country is rural, and 47.3% is urban. Benin has a GNI per capita of $1,280. The Kingdom of Bhutan is a little bit bigger than the state of Maryland. It has a population density of 51.5 people per square mile, or 19.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Algeria. 85.5% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 13.6% is used for agriculture. The country has a median age of 29.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 70.5 years for males, and 72.7 years for females. 62.2% of the population is rural, and 37.8% is urban. Bhutan has a GNI per capita of $2,860. The plurinational state of Bolivia is a bit bigger than Mauritania. It has a population density of 28.3 people per square mile, or 10.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Turkmenistan. 52.5% of its land is forests, and 34.3% is used for agriculture. The most common language is Spanish, which is spoken by 60.7% of the population, and 70% of the country is Roman Catholic. The nation has a median age of 25.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77 years for females, and 70 years for males. 69.4% of the country is urban, and 30.6% is rural. Bolivia has a GNI per capita of $3,200. Bosnia and Herzegovina is a bit smaller than the state of West Virginia. It has a population density of 174.1 people per square mile, or 67.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Bulgaria. 42.2% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 42.8% is made up of forests. Bosnian, Serbian, and Croatian are the official languages of the nation, and the most common religion is Islam, which makes up 50.7% of the population. The country has a median age of 43.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 80.5 years for females, and 74.3 years for males. 48.2% of the country is urban. Bosnia and Herzegovina has a GNI per capita of $6,090. The Republic of Botswana is a bit bigger than Kenya. It has a population density of 10.9 people per square mile, or 4.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Guyana. 45.8% of the nation's land is agricultural, and 19.8% is made up of forests. The country has a median age of 25.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 62.3 years for males, or 66.4 years for females. 69.4% of the population is urban, and 30.6% is rural. Botswana has a GNI per capita of $6,640. The Federative Republic of Brazil is a bit bigger than Australia. It has a population density of 65.5 people per square mile, or 25.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Peru. 61.9% of the country's land is made up of forests, and 32.9% is used for agriculture. 64.6% of the population is Roman Catholic, which is the most common religion. The country has a median age of 33.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 71.8 years for males, and 78.8 years for females. 86.6% of the nation is urban, and 13.4% is rural. Brazil has a GNI per capita of $7,720. Brunei is a bit smaller than the state of Delaware. It has a population density of 195 people per square mile, or 75.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Morocco. 71.8% of its land is forestry, and 2.5% is used for agriculture. Malay is the official language of the nation. The country has a median age of 31.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 76.4 years for males, and 78.4 years for females. 77.2% of the country's population is urban, and 22.8% is rural. Brunei has a GNI per capita of $32,230. The Republic of Bulgaria is about the size of Virginia. It has a population density of 159.9 people per square mile, or 61.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Bosnia and Herzegovina. 36.7% of the country's land is made up of forests, and 46.9% is used for agriculture. Bulgarian is the official language, which is spoken by 76.8% of the population, and 59.4% is Eastern Orthodox, which is the most common religion. The nation has a median age of 43.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 78.5 years for females, and 71.5 years for males. 73.7% of the country is urban, and 26.3% is rural. Bulgaria has a GNI per capita of $9,540. Burkina Faso is a bit bigger than the state of Colorado. It has a population density of 211.7 people per square mile, or 81.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Uzbekistan. 44.2% of the nation's land is agricultural, and 19.3% is made up of forestry. French is the official language of the country. It has a median age of 17.9 years. 70.6% of the nation's population is rural, and 29.4% is urban. Burkina Faso has a GNI per capita of $790. The Republic of Burundi is a little bit smaller than the state of Maryland. It has a population density of 1,196.3 people per square mile, or 461.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Comoros. 73.3% is used for agriculture, and 6.6% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 93.9% of the population. It has a median age of 17.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 61 years for females, and 64.3 years for males. 87% of the country is rural, and 13% is urban. Burundi has a GNI per capita of $270. The Kingdom of Cambodia is a bit smaller than the state of Oklahoma. It has a population density of 232.8 people per square mile, or 89.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Dominica. 32.1% of the nation's land is used for agriculture. Khmer is the official language, which is spoken by 95.8% of the population, and 97.1% is Buddhist, which is the official religion. It has a median age of 26.4 years, as well as a life expectancy of 63.1 years for males, and 68.2 years for females. 76.6% of the country is rural, and 23.4% is urban. Cambodia has a GNI per capita of $1,490. The Republic of Cameroon is about 4 times as big as the state of Pennsylvania. It's a population density of 145 people per square mile, or 56 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Yemen. 41.7% of the country's land is made up of forests, and 20.6% is used for agriculture. French and English are the official languages of the nation, and the most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 70.7% of the population. It has a median age of 18.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 60.1 years for males, and 63.4 years for females. 56.4% of the country is urban, and 43.8% is rural. Cameroon has a GNI per capita of $1,500. Canada is bigger than the People's Republic of China. It has a population density of 9.7 people per square mile, or 3.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Libya. 34.1% of the country is made up of forests, and 6.8% is used for agriculture. English and French are the official languages of the nation, which are spoken by 58.7% and 22% of the population respectively. It has a median age of 41.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 81.1 years for males, and 85.9 years for females. 81.4% of the country's population is urban, and 18.6% is rural. Canada has a GNI per capita of $43,440. The Republic of Cabo Verde is a bit bigger than the state of Rhode Island. It has a population density of 310.1 people per square mile, or 119.7 people per square kilometer. 21% of the nation is made up of forests, and 18.6% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 85.3% of the population, and the official language is Portuguese. It has a median age of 26.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 75.3 years for females, and 70.6 years for males. 65.7% of the population is urban, and 34.3% is rural. Cape Verde has a GNI per capita of $3,060. The Central African Republic is a bit smaller than the state of Texas. It has a population density of 22.7 people per square mile, or 8.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Kazakhstan. 36.2% of the nation is made up of forestry, and 8.1% is agricultural. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 89% of the population. It's a median age of 20 years, as well as a life expectancy of 55.2 years for females, and 52.3 years for males. 58.6% of the nation is rural, and 41.4% is urban. The Central African Republic has a GNI per capita of $510. The Republic of Chad is a little bit more than 3 times as big as the state of California. It has a population density of 36.2 people per square mile, or 14 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Turkmenistan. 39.6% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 9.1% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 16.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 56.1 years for males, and 59.7 years for females. 76.9% of the population of the nation is rural, and 23.1% is urban. Chad has a GNI per capita of $660. The Republic of Chile is almost twice as big as the state of Montana. It has a population density of 67.9 people per square mile, or 26.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Somalia. 21.9% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 21.1% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 78% of the population. It has a median age of 35.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77.8 years for males, and 82.4 years for females. 87.8% of the country is urban, and 12.2% is rural. Chile has a GNI per capita of $13,470. The People's Republic of China is similar in size to the United States. It has a population density of 382.3 people per square mile, or 147.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Kiribati. 54.7% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 22.3% is made up of forests. Mandarin Chinese is the official language across the country. It has a median age of 38.4 years, as well as a life expectancy of 74 years for males, and 78.4 years for females. 59.6% of the population is urban, and 40.4% is rural. China has a GNI per capita of $10,610. The Republic of Colombia is almost twice as big as the state of Texas. It has a population density of 119.4 people per square mile, or 46.1 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Belarus. 54.4% of the country is made up of forests, and 37.5% is used for agriculture. Spanish is the official language of the nation, and the most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 92.3% of the population. It has a median age of 31.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 74.5 years for males, and 80 years for females. 80.8% of the country is urban, and 19.2% is rural. Colombia has a GNI per capita of $5,780. The Union of Comoros is a bit smaller than Luxembourg. It's a population density of 1,151.5 people per square mile, or 444.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Burundi. 84.4% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 1.4% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 20.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 62.9 years for males, and 67.7 years for females. 71% of the population is rural, and 29% is urban. Comoros has a GNI per capita of $1,450. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is a bit bigger than Saudi Arabia. It's a population density of 119.7 people per square mile, or 46.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Mozambique. 67.9% of the nation is made up of forests, and 11.4% is used for agriculture. French is the official language of the country, and the most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 56.6% of the population. It has a median age of 16.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 62.3 years for females, and 58.9 years for males. 55.5% of the population is rural, and 44.5% is urban. The Democratic Republic of the Congo has a GNI per capita of $550. The Republic of the Congo is around twice as big as the state of Florida. It's a population density of 45.1 people per square mile, or 17.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Oman. 65.6% of the country is made up of forestry, and 31.1% is used for agriculture. French is the official language of the nation. It has a median age of 19.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 62.2 years for females, and 59.5 years for males. 66.9% of the population is urban, and 33.1% is rural. The Republic of the Congo has a GNI per capita of $1,930. The Republic of Costa Rica is a little bit smaller than the state of West Virginia. It's a population density of 264.2 people per square mile, or 102 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Malaysia. 51.5% of the land is made up of forests, and 37.1% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 69.9% of the population. It's a median age of 32.6 years, as well as life expectancy of 77.8 years for males, and 82.9 years for females. 79.3% of the country is urban, and 20.7% is rural. Costa Rica has a GNI per capita of $11,460. The Republic of Croatia is a bit smaller than the state of West Virginia. It has a population density of 183.4 people per square mile, or 70.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Tanzania. 34.4% of the nation is made up of forests, and 23.7% is agricultural. Croatian is the official language, which is spoken by 95.6% of the population, and Roman Catholicism is the most common religion, which is followed by 86.3% of the country. It has a median age of 43.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 81.4 years for females, and 74.9 years for males. 56.9% of the nation is urban, and 43.1% is rural. Croatia has a GNI per capita of $14,190. The Republic of Cuba is a little bit smaller than the state of Pennsylvania. It's a population density of 263.1 people per square mile, or 101.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Austria. 27.3% of the nation's land is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 58.9% of the population. It has a median age of 42.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 76.8 years for males, and 80.8 years for females. 77% of the population is urban, and 23% is rural. Cuba has a GNI per capita of $9,277. The Republic of Cyprus is a bit smaller than the Gambia. It has a population density of 376.8 people per square mile, or 145.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Czechia. 18.8% of the country's land is made up of forests, and 13.4% is used for agriculture. The official language is Greek, which is spoken by 80.9% of the population, and the most common religion is Orthodox Christianity, which is followed by 89.1% of the nation. It has a median age of 37.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 80.7 years for males, and 84.6 years for females. Cyprus has a GNI per capita of $26,110. Czechia, or the Czech Republic, is about 2/3 as big as the state of Pennsylvania. It has a population density of 346 people per square mile, or 133.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Cyprus. 54.8% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 34.4% is made up of forestry. Czech is the official language, which is spoken by 88.4% of the population. It has a median age of 43.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 82.1 years for females, and 76.3 years for males. 73.8% of the country is urban, and 26.2% is rural. Czechia has a GNI per capita of $21,930. The Kingdom of Denmark is a little under twice as big as the state of Massachusetts, not including Greenland. It has a population density of 355.5 people per square mile, or 137.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Indonesia. 63.4% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 12.9% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 42 years, as well as a life expectancy of 82.9 years for females, and 79 years for males. 87.9% of the population is urban, and 12.1% is rural. Denmark has a GNI per capita of $62,720. The Republic of Djibouti is a bit bigger than Belize. It has a population density of 114.5 people per square mile, or 34.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to South Africa. 73.4% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 0.2% is made up of forests. French and Arabic are the official languages of the country, and the most common religion is Sunni Islam, which makes up 94% of the population. It has a median age of 24.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 51.8 years for males, and 54.1 years for females. 77.8% of the population is urban, and 22.2% is rural. Djibouti has a GNI per capita of $3,320. The Commonwealth of Dominica is a little more than 4 times as big as Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 227 people per square mile, or 87.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Armenia. 59.2% of the country is made up of forests, and 34.7% is used for agriculture. It has a median age of 34.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 74.6 years for males, and 80.7 years for females. 70.5% of the nation is urban, and 29.5% is rural. Dominica has a GNI per capita of $6,870. The Dominican Republic is a little more than twice as big as the state of New Jersey. It has a population density of 570.5 people per square mile, or 220.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Marshall Islands. 40.8% of the country's land is made up of forests. The most common religion is Roman Catholicism, which makes up 44.3% of the nation. It has a median age of 27.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77.4 years for females, and 71 years for males. 82.3% of the population is urban, and 17.7% is rural. The Dominican Republic has a GNI per capita of $7,260. The Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste is about half as big as the state of Maryland. Its population density of 231.6 people per square mile, or 89.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Senegal. 49.1% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 25.1% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 99.6% of the country. It has a median age of 19.6 years, as well as a life expectancy of 70.8 years for females, and 67.4 years for males. 69.4% of the population is rural, and 30.6% is urban. East Timor has a GNI per capita of $1,830. The Republic of Ecuador is a bit bigger than Burkina Faso. It has a population density of 182 people per square mile, or 70.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Croatia. 38.9% of the country is forestry, and 29.7% is agricultural. Spanish is the official language of the nation, which is spoken by 93% of the population, and the most common religion is Roman Catholicism, which makes up 68.8% of the country. It has a median age of 28.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 74.3 years for males, and 79.8 years for females. 63.8% of the country's population is urban, and 36.2% is rural. Ecuador has a GNI per capita of $5,530. The Arab Republic of Egypt is about 3 times as big as the state of New Mexico. It has a population density of 270.9 people per square mile, or 104.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Portugal. 3.6% of its land is used for agriculture, and 0.1% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 24.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 73 years for males, and 75.5 years for females. 57.2% of the country's population is rural, and 42.8% is urban. Egypt has a GNI per capita of $3,000. The Republic of El Salvador is about as big as the state of New Jersey. It has a population density of 779.3 people per square mile, or 300.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Pakistan. 13.6% of the country's land is made up of forestry. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 86% of the population. It has a median age of 27.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 68.5 years for males, and 77.8 years for females. 61.7% of the nation is urban, and 38.3% is rural. El Salvador has a GNI per capita of $3,650. The Republic of Equatorial Guinea is a little bit smaller than Albania. It has a population density of 143.8 people per square mile, or 55.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Cameroon. 57.5% of the nation's land is made up of forestry, and 10.1% is agricultural. 67.6% of the population speaks Spanish. It has a median age of 20.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 64.1 years for males, and 66.6 years for females. 72.1% of the population is urban, and 27.9% is rural. Equatorial Guinea has a GNI per capita of $5,810. The state of Eritrea is a bit smaller than Malawi. It has a population density of 132.8 people per square mile, or 51.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Estonia. 75.1% of its land is used for agriculture, and 15.1% is forests. It has a median age of 20.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 63.3 years for males, and 68.5 years for females. 59.9% of the country's population is rural, and 40.1% is urban. Eritrea has a GNI per capita of $325. The Republic of Estonia is around twice as big as the state of New Jersey. It has a population density of 75.9 people per square mile, or 29.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Eritrea. 22.2% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and the most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 28.3% of the nation's population. It has a median age of 43.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 74.4 years for males, and 82.8 years for females. 68.9% of the population is urban, and 31.1% is rural. Estonia has a GNI per capita of $23,230. Kingdom of Eswatini is a bit smaller than the state of New Jersey. It has a population density of 169.2 people per square mile, or 65.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Croatia. 68.3% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 31.7% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 90% of the nation. It has a median age of 23.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 60 years for females, and 55.8 years for males. 76.2% of the population is rural, and 23.8% is urban. Eswatini has a GNI per capita of $3,580. The Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia is about twice as big as the state of Texas. It has a population density of 260.8 people per square mile, or 100.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Portugal. 36.3% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 12.2% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 67.3% of the country. It has a median age of 19.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 69.2 years for females, and 65 years for males. 79.2% of the population is rural, and 20.8% is urban. Ethiopia has a GNI per capita of $890. The Republic of Fiji is a little bit smaller than the state of New Jersey. It has a population density of 127 people per square mile, or 49 people per square kilometer, which is similar to South Africa. 23.3% of the country's land is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 64.5% of the population. It has a median age of 29.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 70.8 years for males, and 76.3 years for females. 55.9% of the nation is urban, and 44.1% is rural. Fiji has a GNI per capita of $4,720. The Republic of Finland is a little bit more than twice as big as the state of Georgia. It has a population density of 42.6 people per square mile, or 16.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Belize. 72.9% of the nation is made up of forests, and 7.5% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 67.7% of the country. It has a median age of 42.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.2 years for males, and 84.5 years for females. 86.1% of the country's population is urban, and 13.9% is rural. Finland has a GNI per capita of $49,620. The French Republic is a bit bigger than Somalia. It has a population density of 315.3 people per square mile, or 121.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Slovakia. 52.7% of its land is used for agriculture, and 29.2% is made up of forestry. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 50% of the population, and the official language is French. It has a median age of 41.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.3 years for males, and 85.4 years for females. 80.4% of the population is urban, and 19.6% is rural. France has a GNI per capita of $43,880. The Gabonese Republic is a little bit smaller than the state of Colorado. It has a population density of 22.3 people per square mile, or 8.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Central African Republic. 81% of the country's land is made up of forests, and 19% is agricultural. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 82% of the population. It has a median age of 21 years, as well as a life expectancy of 70.2 years for females, and 66.8 years for males. 89.4% of the nation is urban, and 10.6% is rural. Gabon has a GNI per capita of $6,970. The Republic of the Gambia is a bit bigger than Jamaica. It has a population density of 674.8 people per square mile, or 260.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the United Kingdom. 56.1% of the land is used for agriculture, and 43.9% is made up of forestry. English is the official language of the nation, and the most common religion is Islam, which is followed by 96.4% of the country. It has a median age of 21.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 68 years for females, and 63.2 years for males. 61.3% of the population is urban, and 38.7% is rural. The Gambia has a GNI per capita of $750. Georgia is a little bit smaller than the state of South Carolina. It has a population density of 169.1 people per square mile, or 65.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Iran. 39.4% of the country's land is made up of forests, and 35.5% is used for agriculture. Georgian is the official language of the nation, which is spoken by 87.6% of the population, and the most common religion is Orthodox Christianity, which makes up 83.4% of the country. It has a median age of 38.6 years, as well as a life expectancy of 78.4 years for females, and 69.8 years for males. 59% of the population is urban, and 41% is rural. Georgia has a GNI per capita of $4,290. The Federal Republic of Germany is a bit bigger than the Republic of the Congo. It has a population density of 622.1 people per square mile, or 240.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Qatar. 48% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 31.8% is made up of forestry. German is the official language of the nation, and the most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 51% of the population. Its median age of 47.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 78.9 years for males, and 83.8 years for females. 77.3% of the nation is urban, and 22.7% is rural. Germany has a GNI per capita of $51,040. The Republic of Ghana is a little bit smaller than the state of Oregon. It has a population density of 341.9 people per square mile, or 132 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Tonga. 21.2% of its land is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 71.3% of the population, and the official language is English. It has a median age of 21.4 years, as well as a life expectancy of 70.4 years for females, and 65.2 years for males. 56.1% of the country is urban, and 43.9% is rural. Ghana has a GNI per capita of $2,230. The Hellenic Republic, or Greece, is a little bit smaller than the state of Alabama. It has a population density of 203.5 people per square mile, or 78.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Tunisia. 63.4% of the nation's land is agricultural, and 30.5% is made up of forests. Greek is the official language which is spoken by 99% of the population. It has a median age of 45.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 78.4 years for males, and 83.7 years for females. 79.1% of the population is urban, and 20.9% is rural. Greece has a GNI per capita of $42,290. Grenada is about twice as big as Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 863.2 people per square mile, or 333.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Tuvalu. 50% of the country's land is made up of forests, and 32.3% is used for agriculture. English is the official language of the nation, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 86.4% of the population. It has a median age of 33.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 75 years for females, and 70.1 years for males. 63.7% of the nation is rural, and 36.3% is urban. Grenada has a GNI per capita of $8,740. The Republic of Guatemala is a bit bigger than Iceland. It has a population density of 380.5 people per square mile, or 146.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Andorra. 41.2% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 33.6% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 80.5% of the population. It has a median age of 23.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 71.4 years for males, and 77.2 years for females. 53.9% of the country is urban, and 46.1% is rural. Guatemala has a GNI per capita of $4,490. The Republic of Guinea is a little bit smaller than the state of Oregon. It has a population density of 139.8 people per square mile, or 54 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Nicaragua. 58.1% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 26.5% is made up of forestry. It has a median age of 19.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 60.3 years for females, and 58.8 years for males. 64.1% of the population is rural, and 35.9% is urban. Guinea has a GNI per capita of $1,020. The Republic of Guinea-Bissau is a bit smaller than Bhutan. 44.8% of the country's land is used for agriculture. The official language of the nation is Portuguese, and the most common religion is Islam, which is followed by 46.1% of the country's population. It has a median age of 18 years, as well as a life expectancy of 60 years for males, and 64.4 years for females. 56.6% of the population is rural, and 43.4% is urban. Guinea-Bissau has a GNI per capita of $760. The Cooperative Republic of Guyana is a little bit smaller than the state of Idaho. It has a population density of 8.9 people per square mile, or 3.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Libya. 8.4% of the country's land is used for agriculture. The official language of the nation is English, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 64% of the population. It has a median age of 27.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 73.1 years for females, and 66.9 years for males. 73.4% of the nation is rural, and 26.6% is urban. Guyana has a GNI per capita of $6,600. The Republic of Haiti is a little bit smaller than the state of Maryland. 66.4% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 3.6% of its land is made up of forestry. The most common religion in the nation is Christianity, which makes up 84% of the country's population. It has a median age of 24.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 61.8 years for males, and 66.2 years for females. 55.3% of the population is urban, and 44.7% is rural. Haiti has a GNI per capita of $1,250. The Republic of Honduras is a little bit bigger than the state of Tennessee. It has a population density of 220.9 people per square mile, or 85.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to East Timor. 45.3% of the country is made up of forestry, and 28.8% is used for agriculture. It has a median age of 24.4 years, as well as a life expectancy of 80.2 years for females, and 72.8 years for males. 54.8% of the population is urban, and 45.2% is rural. Honduras has a GNI per capita of $2,200. Hungary is about as big as the state of Indiana. It has a population density of 268 people per square mile, or 103.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Portugal. 58.9% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 22.5% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 52.8% of the nation. It has a median age of 43.6 years, as well as a life expectancy of 72.9 years for males, and 79.3 years for females. 71.4% of the country is urban, and 28.6% is rural. Hungary has a GNI per capita of $16,530. Iceland is about as big as the state of Kentucky. It has a population density of 9.6 people per square mile, or 3.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Libya. 18.7% of the country is used for agriculture, and 0.3% is made up of forests. The official language of the nation is Icelandic, and the Evangelical Lutheran Church of Iceland is the official religion, which is followed by 62.3% of the population. It has a median age of 37.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 85.5 years for females, and 81 years for males. 93.8% of the nation is urban, and 6.2% is rural. Iceland has a GNI per capita of $72,930. The Republic of India is bigger than Argentina, and 60.5% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 23.1% is made up of forestry. Hindi and English are the official languages of the nation, the most common one being Hindi, which is spoken by 43.6% of the population, and the most common religion is Hinduism, which is followed by 79.8% of the country. It has a median age of 28.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 65 years for males, and 71.1 years for females. 66% of the population is rural, and 34% is urban. India has a GNI per capita of $2,170. The Republic of Indonesia is a bit smaller than Sudan. It has a population density of 376.9 people per square mile, or 145.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Denmark. 32.1% of the country's land is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Islam, which makes up 87.2% of the nation's population. It has a median age of 31.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 76.3 years for females, and 70.8 years for males. 55.3% of the population is urban, and 44.7% is rural. Indonesia has a GNI per capita of $3,870. The Islamic Republic of Iran is a little bit smaller than the state of Alaska. It has a population density of 138.5 people per square mile, or 53.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Georgia, the country. 30.1% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 6.8% is made up of forestry. Persian Farsi is the official language of the country. It has a median age of 31.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 73 years for males, or 76.7 years for females. 74% of the population is urban, and 26% is rural. Iran has a GNI per capita of $2,870. The Republic of Iraq is a little bit smaller than Uzbekistan. It has a population density of 258.3 people per square mile, or 99.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Slovenia. 18.1% of the country is used for agriculture, and 1.9% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 21.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 74.3 years for females, and 70.5 years for males. 70.5% of the population is urban, and 29.5% is rural. Iraq has a GNI per capita of $4,660. Ireland is a little bit bigger than the state of West Virginia. It has a population density of 196.8 people per square mile, or 76 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Ecuador. 66.1% of the country is used for agriculture, and 10.9% is made up of forests. English and Irish are the official languages of the nation, and the most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 83.6% of the population. It has a median age of 37.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 80.8 years for males, and 84.4 years for females. 62.7% of the nation is urban, and 37.3% is rural. Ireland has a GNI per capita of $63,470. The state of Israel is a little bit bigger than New Jersey. It has a population density of 1,074 people per square mile, or 414.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Haiti. 23.8% of its land is used for agriculture, and 7.1% is made up of forests. Hebrew is the official language, and Arabic officially has a special status. It has a median age of 30.4 years. 92.4% of the population is urban, and 7.6% is rural. Israel has a GNI per capita of $43,070. The Italian Republic is about twice as big as the state of Georgia. It has a population density of 505.7 people per square mile, or 195.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Antigua and Barbuda. 47.1% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 31.4% is made up of forests. The official language is Italian, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 80.8% of the population. It has a median age of 46.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 80.1 years for males, and 84.7 years for females. 70.4% of the nation is urban, and 29.6% is rural. Italy has a GNI per capita of $35,710. The Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, or the Ivory Coast, is a little bit bigger than the state of New Mexico. It has a population density of 241.4 people per square mile, or 93.2 people per square kilometer, similar to East Timor. 64.8% of the country's land is agricultural, and 32.7% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Islam, which is followed by 42.9% of the population. It has a median age of 20.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 63 years for females, and 58.6 years for males. 50.8% of the nation is urban, and 49.2% is rural. The Ivory Coast has a GNI per capita of $2,290. Jamaica is a little bit smaller than the state of Connecticut. It has a population density of 646.6 people per square mile, or 249.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 41.4% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 31.1% is made up of forestry. English is the official language of the nation, and the most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 68.9% of the nation's population. It has a median age of 29.4 years, as well as a life expectancy of 72.9 years for males, and 76.1 years for females. 55.7% of the country is urban, and 44.3% is rural. Jamaica has a GNI per capita of $4,620. Japan is a little bit smaller than the state of California. It has a population density of 851.6 people per square mile, or 328.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Sri Lanka. 68.5% of the country is made up of forests, and 12.5% is agricultural. Japanese is the national language, and the most common religion is Shintoism, which makes up 70.5% of the population. Japan is made up of over 6,000 islands, and is almost entirely reliant on energy imports from outside the country. It has a median age of 48.6 years, as well as a life expectancy of 87.9 years for females, and 81.9 years for males. 91.6% of the population is urban, and 8.4% is rural. Japan has a GNI per capita of $42,620. The Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan is bigger than Azerbaijan. It has a population density of 324.5 people per square mile, or 125.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Syria. 11.4% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 1.1% is made up of forests. Arabic is the official language of the country, and the official and most common religion is Islam, which makes up 97.1% of the population. It has a median age of 23.5 years. 90.3% of the country is urban, and 9.7% is rural. Jordan has a GNI per capita of $4,310. The Republic of Kazakhstan is bigger than Algeria. It has a population density of 19.1 people per square mile, or 7.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Botswana. 77.4% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 1.2% is made up of forests. Kazakh and Russian are the official languages of the nation, and Islam is the most common religion, which is followed by 70.2% of the population. It has a median age of 31.6 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77.3 years for females, and 67.4 years for males. 57.4% of the country is urban, and 46.2% is rural. Kazakhstan has a GNI per capita of $8,680. The Republic of Kenya is a little bit more than twice as big as the state of Nevada. It has a population density of 226 people per square mile, or 87.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Dominica. 48.1% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 6.1% is made up of forestry. Swahili and English are official languages in the country. It has a median age of 20 years, as well as a life expectancy of 68 years for males, and 71.4 years for females. 68.8% of the country's population is rural. 31.2% is urban. Kenya has a GNI per capita of $1,760. The Republic of Kiribati is bigger than Bahrain. It has a population density of 392 people per square mile, or 151.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Micronesia. 15% of the country's land is made up of forestry. English is the official language of the nation, and Roman Catholicism is the most common religion, which makes up 58.9% of the population. It has a median age of 25.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 69.9 years for females, and 64.7 years for males. 54.1% of the country is urban, and 45.9% is rural. Kiribati has a GNI per capita of $3,010. The People's Democratic Republic of Korea, or North Korea, is a little bit smaller than the state of Mississippi. It has a population density of 549.9 people per square mile, or 212.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Nepal. 46% of North Korea's land is made up of forests, and 21.8% is used for agriculture. Korean is the official language of the country. It has a median age of 34.6 years, as well as a life expectancy of 67.9 years for males, and 75.9 years for females. 61.9% of the nation's population is urban, and 38.1% is rural. North Korea has a GNI per capita of $684. The Republic of Korea, or South Korea, is a little bit bigger than the state of Indiana. It has a population density of 1,324.9 people per square mile, or 511.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Lebanon. 63.9% of South Korea is made up of forestry, and 18.1% is agricultural. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up a plurality of 27.6% of the population, and the official language is Korean. It has a median age of 43.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 86.6 years for females, and 80.6 years for males. 81.5% of the nation is urban, and 18.5% is rural. South Korea has a GNI per capita of $32,860. The state of Kuwait is a little bit smaller than New Jersey. It has a population density of 624 people per square mile, or 240.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Uganda. 8.5% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 0.4% is made up of forests. It is mostly flat, dry desert, with intensely hot summers. It has a median age of 29.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77.2 years for males, and 80.4 years for females. 100% of the country's population is urban. Kuwait has a GNI per capita of $36,290. The Kyrgyz Republic is a little bit smaller than the state of South Dakota. It has a population density of 87.7 people per square mile, or 33.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the United States. 55.4% of the country is used for agriculture, and 5.1% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Islam, which is followed by 90% of the population. It has a median age of 27.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 75.8 years for females, and 67.6 years for males. 66.1% of the nation is rural, and 33.9% is urban. Kyrgyzstan has a GNI per capita of $1,160. The Lao People's Democratic Republic is a little bit bigger than the state of Utah. It has a population density of 82.7 people per square mile, or 31.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Venezuela, and is one of the lowest population densities in Southeast Asia. 10.6% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and most is thickly forested and mountainous. It has a median age of 24 years, as well as a life expectancy of 65 years for males, and 68 years for females. 65% of the population of the nation is rural, and 35% is urban. Lao has a GNI per capita of $2,480. The Republic of Latvia is a bit smaller than Lithuania. It has a population density of 74.2 people per square mile, or 28.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Angola. 54.1% of the nation is made up of forests, and 29.2% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 76.4% of the population. It has a median age of 44.4 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77.9 years for females, and 68.2 years for males. 68.5% of the country is urban, and 31.5% is rural. Latvia has a GNI per capita of $17,730. The Lebanese Republic is about a third as big as the state of Maryland. It has a population density of 1,345.9 56.9 people per square mile, or 519.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Netherlands. 63.3% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 13.4% is made up of forestry. Arabic is the official language of the country, and Islam is the most common religion, which makes up 67.8% of the population. It has a median age of 33.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77.4 years for males, and 80.2 years for females. 88.6% of the nation is urban, and 11.4% is rural. Lebanon has a GNI per capita of $5,510. The Kingdom of Lesotho is a bit bigger than Armenia. It has a population density of 177.8 people per square mile, or 68.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Guinea-Bissau. 1.5% of the country's land is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 96.2% of the nation's population. It has a median age of 24.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 59.8 years for females, and 55.2 years for males. 71.8% of the country is rural, and 28.2% is urban. Lesotho has a GNI per capita of $1,100. The Republic of Liberia is a little bit bigger than Virginia. 28.1% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 44.6% is made up of forestry. English is the official language of the nation, which is spoken by 20% of the population, and the most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 85.6% of the country. It has a median age of 18 years, as well as a life expectancy of 62.1 years for males, and 66.5 years for females. 53.9% of the country's population is urban, and 46.1% is rural. Liberia has a GNI per capita of $530. The state of Libya is a little bit smaller than Sudan. It has a population density of 11.7 people per square mile, or 4.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Suriname. 8.8% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 0.1% is made up of forests. More than 90% is desert. It has a median age of 25.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.5 years for females, and 74.9 years for males. 80.1% of the country's population is urban, and 19.9% is rural. Libya has a GNI per capita of $4,850. The state of Libya is a little bit smaller than Sudan. It has a population density of 11.7 people per square mile, or 4.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Suriname. 8.8% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 0.1% is made up of forests. More than 90% is desert. It has a median age of 25.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.5 years for females, and 74.9 years for males. 80.1% of the country's population is urban, and 19.9% is rural. Libya has a GNI per capita of $4,850. The Principality of Liechtenstein is a bit smaller than the Marshall Islands. It has a population density of 637.1 people per square mile, or 246.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Nigeria. 37.6% of the country is used for agriculture. The official religion is Roman Catholicism, which makes up 73.4% of the population. It has a median age of 43.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.8 years for males, and 84.9 years for females. 85.7% of the nation is rural, and 14.3% is urban. Liechtenstein has a GNI per capita of $186,795. The Republic of Lithuania is a little bit bigger than the state of West Virginia. It has a population density of 109.3 people per square mile, or 42.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Mozambique. 44.8% of its land is agricultural, and 34.6% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 44.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 78.9 years for females, and 69.6 years for males. 67.4% of the country's population is urban, and 32.6% is rural. Lithuania has a GNI per capita of $19,000. The Grand Duchy of Luxembourg is about half as big as the state of Delaware. It has a population density of 663 people per square mile, or 255.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Jamaica. 50.7% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 33.5% is made up of forests. Luxembourgish is the national language, and Christianity is the most common religion, which is followed by 70.6% of the population. It has a median age of 39.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 80.3 years for males, and 84.8 years for females. 91% of the country is urban, and 9% is rural. Luxembourg has a GNI per capita of $81,110. The Republic of Madagascar is a little bit less than twice as big as the state of Arizona. It has a population density of 130.8 people per square mile, or 50.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Fiji. 71.1% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 21.5% is made up of forests. Malagasy and English are the official languages of the nation, and Christianity is the most common religion, which is followed by 74.4% of the population. It has a median age of 20.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 69.6 years for females, and 66.8 years for males. 62.8% of the country is rural, and 37.2% is urban. Madagascar has a GNI per capita of $480. The Republic of Malawi is a little bit smaller than the state of Pennsylvania. It has a population density of 440.2 people per square mile, or 169.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Switzerland. 34% of the nation's land is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 77.3% of the population. It has a median age of 16.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 62.4 years for males, and 67.9 years for females. 83.1% of the country is rural, and 16.9% is urban. Malawi has a GNI per capita of $580. Malaysia is a little bit bigger than the state of New Mexico. It has a population density of 258.6 people per square mile, or 99.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Moldova. 62% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 23.2% is used for agriculture. Malay is the official language of the country. It has a median age of 29.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 75.8 years for females, and 71.3 years for males. 76% of the population is urban, and 24% is rural. Malaysia has a GNI per capita of $10,580. The Republic of Maldives is a little bit bigger than St. Kitts and Nevis. It has a population density of 3,982 people per square mile, or 1,537 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Malta. 23.3% of the country is used for agriculture, and 3% is made up of forests. The official religion of the nation is Islam. It is a median age of 29.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.9 years for males, and 87 years for females. 60.2% of the population is rural, and 39.8% is urban. The Maldives has a GNI per capita of $6,830. The Republic of Mali is a little under twice as big as the state of Texas. It has a population density of 46.6 people per square mile, or 18 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Algeria. 34.1% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 10.2% is made up of forests. The nation is landlocked. It has a median age of 16 years, as well as a life expectancy of 64.7 years for females, and 60.2 years for males. 57.6% of the nation is rural, and 42.4% is urban. Mali has a GNI per capita of $830. The Republic of Malta is almost twice as big as Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 4,411 people per square mile, or 1,703 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Maldives. 32.3% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 0.9% is made up of forests. Only the three largest islands in the country are populated. It has a median age of 42.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 83 years for males, and 84.6 years for females. 94.6% of the nation is urban, and 5.4% is rural. Malta has a GNI per capita of $25,370. The Republic of the Marshall Islands is about as big as Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 585.7 people per square mile, or 226.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Switzerland. 50.7% of its land is used for agriculture, and 49.3% is made up of forestry. The most common religion is Protestant Christianity, which is followed by 80.5% of the nation. It has a median age of 23.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77 years for females, and 72.4 years for males. 77% of the country is urban, and 23% is rural. The Marshall Islands have a GNI per capita of $5,010. The Islamic Republic of Mauritania is a bit bigger than Egypt. It has a population density of 11 people per square mile, or 4.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Botswana. 38.5% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 0.2% is made up of forests. Arabic is the official language of the country, and Islam is the official religion. It has a median age of 21 years, as well as a life expectancy of 62.8 years for males, and 67.8 years for females. 53.7% of the country's population is urban, and 46.3% is rural. Mauritania has a GNI per capita of $1,640. The Republic of Mauritius is a bit smaller than Comoros. It has a population density of 1,593.5 people per square mile, or 615.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Nauru. 43.8% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 17.3% is made up of forests. English is the official language, though it is spoken by less than 1% of the country. It is a median age of 36.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77.3 years for females, and 70.4 years for males. 59.6% of the population is rural, and 40.4% is urban. Mauritius has a GNI per capita of $10,230. The United Mexican States is a bit bigger than Indonesia. It has a population density of 172.7 people per square mile, or 66.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Yemen. 54.9% of the land is used for agriculture, and 33.3% is made up of forestry. The most common language is Spanish, which is spoken by 93.8% of the population. It has a median age of 29.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 72.6 years for males, and 78.4 years for females. 8.2% of the country is urban, and 19.8% is rural. Mexico has a GNI per capita of $9,380. The Federated States of Micronesia is a bit bigger than St. Lucia. It has a population density of 388.2 people per square mile, or 150.1 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Kiribati. 74.5% of the nation's land is made up of forestry, and 25.5% is used for agriculture. It's made up of 607 different islands. It has a median age of 26.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 76.7 years for females, and 72.3 years for males. 77.3% of the country's population is rural, and 22.7% is urban. Micronesia has a GNI per capita of $4,010. The Republic of Moldova is bigger than Belgium. It has a population density of 196.4 people per square mile, or 75.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Malaysia. 74.9% of the nation is agricultural, and 11.9% is forestry. Romanian is the official language of the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 92.7% of the population. It has a median age of 37.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 65.2 years for males, and 73 years for females. 57.1% of the country is rural, and 42.9% is urban. Moldova has a GNI per capita of $4,570. The Principality of Monaco is about 3 times as big as the National Mall in Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 50,500 people per square mile, or 19,238 people per square kilometer, and is the world's smallest country which has a coast. While Monaco is not part of the European Union, it uses the euro for a currency. It has a median age of 55.4 years, as well as a life expectancy of 88.7 years for females, and 84.9 years for males. As it is a city-state, all of the population is urban. Monaco has a GNI per capita of $192,848. Mongolia is a little bit smaller than the state of Alaska. It has a population density of 5.8 people per square mile, or 2.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Namibia. 73% of its land is used for agriculture, and 7% is made up of forestry. The country is landlocked. It has a median age of 29 59.8 years, as well as life expectancy of 67.1 years for males, and 76.5 years for females. 68.4% of the country's population is urban, and 31.6% is rural. Mongolia has a GNI per capita of $3,670. Montenegro is a little bit more than twice as big as the state of Delaware. It has a population density of 114.4 people per square mile, or 44.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Belarus. 40.4% of the nation is made up of forests, and 38.2% is used for agriculture. Montenegrin is the official language, which is spoken by 37% of the country, and the most common religion is Orthodox Christianity, which is followed by 72.1% of the population. It has a median age of 39.6 years, as well as a life expectancy of 77 years for females, and 70.8 years for males. 66.8% of the country is urban, and 33.2% is rural. Montenegro has a GNI per capita of $7,900. The Kingdom of Morocco is a little bit more than twice as big as the state of California. It has a population density of 230.3 people per square mile, or 88.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Burkina Faso. 67.5% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 11.5% is made up of forests. The official religion of the country is Islam, which is followed by 99% of the country. It has a median age of 29.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 72 years for males, and 75.5 years for females. 62.5% of the nation is urban, and 37.5% is rural. Morocco has a GNI per capita of $2,980. The Republic of Mozambique is a bit more than 5 times as big as the state of Georgia. It has a population density of 105 people per square mile, or 40.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Zimbabwe. 56.3% of the land is used for agriculture, and 43.7% is made up of forests. The official language of the nation is Portuguese, which is spoken by 16.6% of the population. It has a median age of 17 years, as well as life expectancy of 58.7 years for females, and 52.9 years for males. 64% of the country's population is rural, and 36% is urban. Mozambique has a GNI per capita of $460. The Republic of the Union of Myanmar is a little bit smaller than the state of Texas. It has a population density of 216 people per square mile, or 83.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Morocco. 48.2% of the nation is made up of forests, and 19.2% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Buddhism, which is followed by 87.9% of the country's population. It has a median age of 29.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 62.5 years for males, and 71.5 years for females. 71.2% of the population is rural, and 28.8% is urban. Myanmar has a GNI per capita of $1,260. The Republic of Namibia is about half as big as the state of Alaska. It has a population density of 8.3 people per square mile, or 3.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Australia. 47.2% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 8.8% is made up of forestry. It is a hot and dry desert climate. English is the official language, which is spoken by 2.3% of the population, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 97.5% of the nation. It has a median age of 21.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 68.5 years for females, and 64.5 years for males. 50% of the country's population is urban, and 50% is rural. Namibia has a GNI per capita of $4,520. The Republic of Nauru is a little bit smaller than Tuvalu. It has a population density of 1,777.8 people per square mile, or 682.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Mauritius. 20% of the country is used for agriculture. Most of the population is on the coast. The national language is Nauruan, which is spoken by 93% of the country, and Protestant Christianity is the most common religion, which is followed by 60.4% of the population. It has a median age of 27 years, as well as life expectancy of 57 years for males, and 64.5 years for females. 100% of the nation is urban. Nauru has a GNI per capita of $16,630. Nepal is a little bit smaller than Bangladesh. It has a population density of 521.6 people per square mile, or 201.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to North Korea. 28.8% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 25.4% is made up of forests. Nepali is the official language, which is spoken by 44.6% of the nation, and the most common religion is Hinduism, which makes up 81.3% of the population. It has a median age of 25.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 73.2 years for females, and 71.7 years for males. 80.3% of the country is rural, and 19.7% is urban. Nepal has a GNI per capita of $1,190. The Kingdom of the Netherlands is a little bit under half the size of the state of New Jersey. It has a population density of 1,120.6 people per square mile, or 432.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Lebanon. 55.1% of the land is used for agriculture, and 10.8% is made up of forestry. It has a median age of 42.8 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.7 years for males, and 83 years for females. 91.5% of the country's population is urban, and 8.5% is rural. The Netherlands have a GNI per capita of $53,010. New Zealand is around twice as big as the state of North Carolina. It has a population density of 50 people per square mile, or 19.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Uruguay. 43.2% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 31.4% is made up of forests. The most common language is English, which is spoken by 95.4% of the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 37.3% of the population. It has a median age of 37.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 83.5 years for females, and 80 years for males. 86.5% of the nation is urban, and 13.5% is rural. New Zealand has a GNI per capita of $42,610. The Republic of Nicaragua is a little bit smaller than the state of New York. It has a population density of 135.2 people per square mile, or 52.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Guinea. 42.2% of the nation's land is agriculture, agricultural, and 25.3% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 83.2% of the population, and Spanish is the official language, which is spoken by 95.3% of the country. It has a median age of 27.3 years. 58.5% of the nation's population is urban, and 41.5% is rural. Nicaragua has a GNI per capita of $1,850. The Republic of Niger is about twice as big as the state of Texas. It has a population density of 51.8 people per square mile, or 20 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Bhutan. 1% of the country's land is made up of forestry, and most is desert. Niger is one of the world's hottest countries. French is the official language of the nation. It has a median age of 14.8 years, as well as life expectancy of 61.7 years for females, and 58.6 years for males. 83.7% of the population is rural, and 16.3% is urban. Niger has a GNI per capita of $540. The Federal Republic of Nigeria is around twice as big as the state of California. It has a population density of 623.8 people per square mile, or 240.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Liechtenstein. 78% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 9.5% is made up of forests. English is the official language of the nation. It has a median age of 18.6 years, as well as life expectancy of 59.5 years for males, and 63.3 years for females. 50.3% of the country's population is urban, and 49.7% is rural. Nigeria has a GNI per capita of $2,000. The Republic of North Macedonia is a little bit bigger than the state of Vermont. It has a population density of 185.3 people per square mile, or 71.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Serbia. 44.3% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 39.8% is made up of forests. The country is landlocked. It has a median age of 39 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.1 years for females, and 74.7 years for males. 57.1% of the country's population is urban, and 42.9% is rural. North Macedonia has a GNI per capita of $5,720. The Kingdom of Norway is around twice as big as the state of Georgia. It has a population density of 37.2 people per square mile, or 14.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Oman. 27.8% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 2.2% is used for agriculture. Norwegian and Sami are official languages in the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 74.4% of the population. It has a median age of 39.5 years, as well as life expectancy of 81.6 years for males, and 84.7 years for females. 82.4% of the nation is urban, and 17.6% is rural. Norway has a GNI per capita of $78,250. The Sultanate of Oman is about twice as big as the state of Georgia. It has a population density of 43.1 people per square mile, or 16.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Norway. 4.7% of the land is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Islam, which makes up 85.9% of the population, and the official language is Arabic. It has a median age of 26.2 years, as well as life expectancy of 78.9 years for females, and 75 years for males. 84.5% of the country's population is urban, and 15.5% is rural. Oman has a GNI per capita of $14,150. The Islamic Republic of Pakistan is about twice as big as the state of California. It has a population density of 757 people per square mile, or 292.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Vietnam. 35.2% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 2.1% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 22 years, as well as life expectancy of 64.5 years for males, and 65.5 years for females. 63.6% of the nation's population is rural, and 36.4% is urban. Pakistan has a GNI per capita of $1,280. The Republic of Palau is a little bit bigger than Seychelles. It has a population density of 490 people per square mile, or 189 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Bahamas. 87.6% of the nation's land is made up of forestry, and 10.8% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 81.7% of the country's population. It has a median age of 33.9 years, as well as life expectancy of 78 years for females, and 71.5 years for males. 78.7% of the population is urban, and 21.3% is rural. Palau has a GNI per capita of $16,500. The Republic of Panama is a little bit smaller than the state of South Carolina. It has a population density of 153.4 people per square mile, or 59.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Nicaragua. 43.6% of the land is made up of forestry, and 30.5% is agricultural. Spanish is the official language of the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 78.8% of the nation's population. It has a median age of 30.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 75.6 years for males, and 81.6 years for females. 67.7% of the population is urban, and 32.3% is rural. Panama has a GNI per capita of $11,880. The independent state of Papua New Guinea is a little bit bigger than the state of California. It has a population density of 53.3 people per square mile, or 20.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Niger. 63.1% of the land is made up of forests, and 2.6% is used for agriculture. The country is located in the Pacific Ring of Fire, and shares the island of New Guinea with Indonesia. It has a median age of 24 years, as well as life expectancy of 71.2 years for females, and 67.8 years for males. 86.8% of the nation is rural, and 13.2% is urban. Papua New Guinea has a GNI per capita of $2,660. The Republic of Paraguay is a little bit bigger than Zimbabwe. It has a population density of 48.1 people per square mile, or 18.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Saudi Arabia. 53.8% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 43.8% is made up of forests. Spanish and Guarani are official languages of the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 96.9% of the population. It has a median age of 29.7 years, as well as life expectancy of 72.2 years for males, and 78.1 years for females. 61.7% of the nation is urban, and 38.3% is rural. Paraguay has a GNI per capita of $5,140. The Republic of Peru is about twice as big as the state of Texas. It has a population density of 68 people per square mile, or 26.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Vanuatu. 53% of its land is made up of forests, and 18.8% is used for agriculture. Spanish is the most common language, which is spoken by 82.9% of the population. About a third of the country's population lives along the coast. Its median age is 29.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.8 years for females, and 74.5 years for males. 79.3% of the nation is urban, and 20.7% is rural. Peru has a GNI per capita of $6,010. The Republic of the Philippines is a little bit smaller than Italy. It has a population density of 1,005.3 people per square mile, or 388.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Belgium. 41% of the land is used for agriculture, and 25.9% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 85.6% of the population, and the official languages in the nation are Filipino and English. It has a median age of 24.1 years, as well as life expectancy of 71.3 years for males, and 77.5 years for females. 53.1% of the population is rural, and 46.9% is urban. The Philippines has a GNI per capita of $3,430. The Republic of Poland is a little bit smaller than the state of New Mexico. It has a population density of 311.8 people per square mile, or 120.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the UAE. 48.2% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 30.6% is made up of forestry. Polish is the most common language, which is spoken by 96.9% of the population. It has a median age of 41.9 years, as well as life expectancy of 79.7 years for females, and 71.6 years for males. 60% of the country is urban, and 40% is rural. Poland has a GNI per capita of $15,270. The Portuguese Republic is a little bit smaller than Virginia. It has a population density of 289.1 people per square mile, or 111.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Ethiopia. 39.7% of the country is used for agriculture. 37.8% is made up of forestry. Portuguese is official in the nation, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 84.4% of the country. It has a median age of 44.6 years, as well as life expectancy of 79 years for males, and 85 years for females. 56.7% of the population is rural, and 43.3% is urban. Portugal has a GNI per capita of $22,000. The state of Qatar is a little bit smaller than Connecticut. It has a population density of 715.1 people per square mile, or 276.1 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Dominican Republic. 5.6% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and most of the population is near Doha, the capital. It has a median age of 33.7 years, as well as life expectancy of 82 years for females, and 77.7 years for males. 99.1% of the nation is urban, and 0.9% is rural. Qatar has a GNI per capita of $56,210. Romania is about twice as big as the state of Pennsylvania. It has a population density of 204.5 people per square mile, or 78.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Brunei. 60.7% of the nation's land is used for agriculture. 28.7% is made up of forests. Romanian is the official language, which is spoken by 91.6% of the country's population. It has a median age of 42.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 72.3 years for males, and 79.7 years for females. 53.9% of the population is urban, and 46.1% is rural. Romania has a GNI per capita of $12,570. The Russian Federation is almost twice as big as the United States. It has a population density of 22 people per square mile, or 8.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Central African Republic. 49.4% of its land is made up of forestry, and 13.1% is used for agriculture. Russian is the official language, which is spoken by 85.7% of the country's population. It has a median age of 40.3 years, as well as life expectancy of 78.3 years for females, and 66.9 years for males. 74% of the nation is urban, and 26% is rural. Russia has a GNI per capita of $11,600. The Republic of Rwanda is a little bit smaller than the state of Maryland. It has a population density of 1,424.1 people per square mile, or 549.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to San Marino. 18% of the country's land is made up of forests. Rwanda, French, English, and Swahili are official languages in the nation, and the most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 95.9% of the population. It has a median age of 19.7 years, as well as life expectancy of 66.5 years for males, and 70.5 years for females. 65% of the country is rural, 35% is urban. Rwanda has a GNI per capita of $780. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is a bit smaller than Malta. It has a population density of 473.5 people per square mile, or 183.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Andorra. 42.3% of the land is made up of forests, and 23.1% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 82.9% of the population. It has a median age of 36.5 years, as well as a life expectancy of 79.6 years for females, and 74.6 years for males. 69.2% of the nation is rural, and 30.8% is urban. St. Kitts and Nevis has a GNI per capita of $17,400. St. Lucia is a little bit smaller than the Federated States of Micronesia. It has a population density of 778.2 people per square mile, or 300.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Trinidad and Tobago. 77% of the nation's land is made up of forestry, and 17.4% is used for agriculture. It has a median age of 36.9 years, as well as a life expectancy of 76.2 years for males, and 81.8 years for females. 81.3% of the population of the country is rural, and 18.7% is urban. St. Lucia has a GNI per capita of $8,700. $790. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is about twice as big as Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 743.3 people per square mile, or 286.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Jamaica. 68.7% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 25.6% is agricultural. English is the official language of the country. It has a median age of 35.3 years, as well as a life expectancy of 78.8 years for females, and 74.6 years for males. 52.2% of the population is urban, and 47.8% is rural. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has a GNI per capita of $7,340. The independent state of Samoa is a bit bigger than Luxembourg. It has a population density of 184.3 people per square mile, or 71.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Greece. 60.4% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 12.4% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 97% of the country's population. It has a median age of 25.6 years, as well as a life expectancy of 72.3 years for males, and 78.3 years for females. 81.3% of the nation is rural, and 18.7% is urban. Samoa has a GNI per capita of $4,070. The Republic of San Marino is a little bit more than twice as big as Tuvalu. It has a population density of 1,412.5 people per square mile, or 555.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Rwanda. 16.7% of the country is used for agriculture, and Italian is the official language of the nation. It has a median age of 45.2 years, as well as life expectancy of 86.8 years for females, and 83.1 years for males. 97.2% of the country's population is urban, and 2.8% is rural. San Marino has a GNI per capita of $40,632. The Democratic Republic of Sao Tome and Principe is a little more than 5 times as big as Washington, D.C. It has a population density of 578.8 people per square mile, or 223.2 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Kuwait. The country was named after St. Thomas. 50.7% of the land is used for agriculture. 28.1% is made up of forestry. It has a median age of 19.3 years, as well as life expectancy of 65.4 years for males, and 68.7 years for females. 68% of the population is urban, and 32% is rural. Sao Tome and Principe has a GNI per capita of $2,070. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is a bit smaller than the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It has a population density of 39 people per square mile, or 15.1 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Argentina. Saudi Arabia is the largest country that doesn't have any permanent rivers. Only around 64% of the population is made up of Saudi Arabia citizens. Arabic is the official language of the nation, and Islam is the official religion. About 2 million Muslims make a pilgrimage to Mecca annually. It has a median age of 30.8 years, as well as life expectancy of 78.3 years for females, and 75.1 years for males. 83.8% of the country's population is urban, and 16.2% is rural. Saudi Arabia has a GNI per capita of $21,930. The Republic of Senegal is a little bit smaller than the state of South Dakota. It has a population density of 240.5 people per square mile, or 92.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to East Timor. 46.8% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 43.8% is made up of forestry. French is the official language of the nation. It has a median age of 19.4 years, as well as a life expectancy of 67.6 years for males, and 69.8 years for females. 52.8% of the population is rural, and 47.2% is urban. Senegal has a GNI per capita of $1,430. The Republic of Serbia is a little bit smaller than the state of South Carolina. It has a population density of 223.9 people per square mile, or 86.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to North Macedonia. 57.9% of the land is agricultural, and 31.6% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 90.6% of the population. It has a median age of 43.4 years, as well as life expectancy of 75.6 years for females, and 70 years for males. 56.1% of the country is urban, and 43.9% is rural. Serbia has a GNI per capita of $7,400. The Republic of Seychelles is a little bit bigger than Antigua and Barbuda. It has a population density of 590.1 people per square mile, or 227.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Dominican Republic. 88.5% of the nation's land is made up of forestry, and 6.5% is used for agriculture. Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 89.1% of the nation. It has a median age of 36.8 years, as well as life expectancy of 71.3 years for males, and 75.6 years for females. 56.7% of the population is urban, and 43.3% is rural. Seychelles has a GNI per capita of $12,720. The Republic of Sierra Leone is a little bit bigger than Ireland. It has a population density of 277 people per square mile, or 106.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Benin. 56.2% of the nation's land is agricultural, and 37.5% is made up of forests. Sierra Leone is one of the wettest places on the coast of Western Africa. It has a median age of 19.1 years, as well as life expectancy of 60.4 years for females, and 57.2 years for males. 59.1% of the country's population is rural, and 40.9% is urban. Sierra Leone has a GNI per capita of $490. The Republic of Singapore is a bit smaller than Tonga. Its population density of 21,423 people per square mile, or 8,277 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Hong Kong. 33% of the land is made up of forests, and 1% is agricultural. Buddhism is the most common religion, which is followed by 31.1% of the country's population. It has a median age of 35.6 years, as well as life expectancy of 81.1 years for males, and 85.9 years for females. As it is a city-state, 100% of the country's population is urban. Singapore has a GNI per capita of $54,920. The Slovak Republic is about twice as big as the state of New Hampshire. It has a population density of 286.5 people per square mile, or 110.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to France. 40.2% of the nation's land is made up of forests, and 40.1% is used for agriculture. Most Most of the land is mountainous. It has a median age of 41.8 years, as well as life expectancy of 82 years for females, and 74.8 years for males. 53.7% of the population of the country is urban, and 46.3% is rural. Slovakia has a GNI per capita of $18,700. The Republic of Slovenia is a little bit smaller than El Salvador. It has a population density of 269.5 people per square mile, or 104 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Iraq. 62.3% of the land is made up of forestry, and 22.8% is used for agriculture. Slovene is the official language, which is spoken by 87.7% of the population, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 61.1% of the nation. It is a median age of 44.9 years, as well as life expectancy of 77.6 years for males, and 83.7 years for females. 52.2% of the population is rural, and 47.8% is urban. Slovenia has a GNI per capita of $25,910. The Solomon Islands is a little bit bigger than Albania. It has a population density of 67.7 people per square mile, or 26.1 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Chile. 3.9% of the nation is used for agriculture. English is the official language of the country, and is spoken by 1 to 2% of the population. Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 95.9% of the nation. It has a median age of 23.5 years, as well as life expectancy of 79.5 years for females, and 74.1 years for males. 76.3% of the country is rural, and 23.7% is urban. The Solomon Islands have a GNI per capita of $2,300. The Federal Republic of Somalia is a little bit smaller than the state of Texas, and is located on the Horn of Africa. It has a population density of 60.7 people per square mile, or 23.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Latvia. 70.3% of its land is agricultural, and 10.6% is made up of forests. Somali and Arabic are official languages in the country. It has a median age of 18.5 years, as well as life expectancy of 53.4 years for males, and 58.1 years for females. 55% of the population is rural, and 45% is urban. Somalia has a GNI per capita of $117. The Republic of South Africa is around twice as big as the state of Texas. It has a population density of 129.6 people per square mile, or 50 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Djibouti. 7.6% of the land is made up of forests. South Africa has 11 different official languages, and Christianity is the most common religion, which is followed by 86% of the nation. It has a median age of 28 years, as well as life expectancy of 65.6 years for females, and 60 years for males. 67.4% of the country's population is urban, and 32.6% is rural. South Africa has a GNI per capita of $5,410. The Republic of South Sudan is a little bit smaller than the state of Texas. It has a population density of 59.3 people per square mile, or 22.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Republic of the Congo. 45% of its land is used for agriculture, and 11.3% is made up of forestry. Up to 15% of the nation can be swamped during the rainy season, which is one of the biggest wetlands on Earth. It has a median age of 18.6 years. 80.4% of the population is rural, and 19.6% is urban. South Sudan has a GNI per capita of $373. The Kingdom of Spain is about 5 times as big as the state of Kentucky. It has a population density of 245.2 people per square mile, or 94.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Honduras. 54.1% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 36.8% is made up of forests. Castilian Spanish is official across the country, and Roman Catholicism is the most common religion, which makes up 58.2% of the population. It has a median age of 43.9 years, as well as life expectancy of 80.3 years for males, and 85.8 years for females. 80.3% of the population is urban, and 19.7% is rural. Spain has a GNI per capita of $30,330. The Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka is a little bit bigger than the state of West Virginia. It has a population density of 893.7 people per square mile, or 345 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Japan. 43.5% of the country's land is used for agriculture, and 29.4% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 33.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 81.6 years for females, and 74.6 years for males. 81.5% of the country's population is rural, and 18.5% is urban. Sri Lanka has a GNI per capita of $3,720. The Republic of Sudan is a little bit bigger than Libya. The country's main source of water is the Nile River. Sudan was the largest country in Africa, prior to South Sudan becoming independent in 2011. Now Sudan ranks 3rd in the continent. It has a median age of 18.3 years, as well as life expectancy of 64.9 years for males, and 69.5 years for females. 65.4% of the population of the country is rural, and 34.6% is urban. Sudan has a GNI per capita of $650. The Republic of Suriname is a little bit bigger than the state of Georgia. It has a population density of 9.9 people per square mile, or 3.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Guyana. 94.6% of the land is made up of forests, and 0.5% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 48.4% of the population. It has a median age of 31 years, as well as life expectancy of 64.2 years for females, and 59.4 years for males. 66.1% of the nation is urban, and 33.9% is rural. Suriname has a GNI per capita of $5,510. The Kingdom of Sweden is a bit bigger than Uzbekistan. It has a population density of 61.2 people per square mile, or 23.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Brazil. 68.7% of the nation's land is made up of forestry, and 7.5% is agricultural. The most common religion is Lutheran Christianity, which makes up 57.6% of the population, and the official language is Swedish. It has a median age of 41.1 years, as well as a life expectancy of 81.2 years for males, and 84.8 years for females. 87.4% of the country is urban, and 12.6% is rural. Sweden has a GNI per capita of $53,800. The Swiss Confederation is about twice as big as the state of New Jersey. It has a population density of 556 people per square mile, or 214.7 people per square kilometer, which is similar similar to Malawi. 38.7% of the land is used for agriculture, and 31.5% is made up of forestry. French, German, Italian, and Romansh are all official languages in the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 62.6% of the population. It has a median age of 42.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 85.7 years for females, and 81.6 years for males. 84.8% of the nation is urban, and 15.2% is rural. Switzerland has a GNI per capita of $87,950. The Syrian Arab Republic is a bit smaller than Senegal. It has a population density of 395.1 people per square mile, or 152.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Azerbaijan. 75.8% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 2.7% is made up of forests. Syria is mostly hot, dry deserts. It has a median age of 23.5 years, as well as life expectancy of 72.8 years for males, and 75.8 years for females. 54.2% of the population is urban, and 45.8% is rural. Syria has a GNI per capita of $586. The Republic of Tajikistan is a little bit smaller than the state of Wisconsin. It has a population density of 185.9 people per square mile, or 71.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Ecuador. 34.7% of the land is used for agriculture, and 2.9% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 25.3 years, as well as life expectancy of 76.8 years for females, and 73.5 years for males. 73.8% of the country's population is rural, and 26.2% is urban. Tajikistan has a GNI per capita of $1,060. The United Republic of Tanzania is more than twice as big as the state of California. It has a population density of 173.7 people per square mile, or 67.1 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Guinea-Bissau. 43.7% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 37.3% is made up of forestry. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 63.1% of the population. It has a median age of 18.2 years, as well as life expectancy of 63.7 years for males, and 69 years for females. 66.2% of the country is rural, and 33.8% is urban. Tanzania has a GNI per capita of $1,080. The Kingdom of Thailand is more than twice as big as the state of Wyoming. It has a population density of 339.7 people per square mile, or 131.1 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Cyprus. 41.2% of the land is used for agriculture, and 37.2% is made up of forests. It has a median age of 39 years, as well as life expectancy of 80.3 years for females, and 73.2 years for males. 50.1% of the country's population is rural, and 49.9% is urban. Thailand has a GNI per capita of $7,050. The Togolese Republic is a little bit smaller than the state of West Virginia. It has a population density of 381.8 people per square mile, or 147.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Kiribati. 4.9% of the nation's land is made up of forests. French is the official language of the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 42.3% of the population. It has a median age of 20 years, as well as a life expectancy of 68.8 years for males, and 74 years for females. 56.5% of the nation is rural, and 43.5% is urban. Togo has a GNI per capita of $920. The Kingdom of Tonga is a bit bigger than Singapore. It has a population density of 398.4 people per square mile, or 153.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Ghana. It is made up of both volcanic and non-volcanic islands. 43.1% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 12.5% is made up of forestry. It has a median age of 24.1 years, as well as life expectancy of 70.9 years for females, and 65.4 years for males. 76.9% of the country's population is rural, and 23.1% is urban. Tonga has a GNI per capita of $5,000. The Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is a little bit smaller than the state of Delaware. It has a population density of 688.9 people per square mile, or 266 people per square kilometer, which is similar to St. Lucia. 44% of the land is made up of forests, and 10.6% is used for agriculture. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 55.2% of the population, and English is the official language. It has a median age of 37.8 years, as well as life expectancy of 74 years for males, and 77.9 years for females. 53.2% of the country is urban, and 46.8% is rural. Trinidad and Tobago has a GNI per capita of $15,410. The Republic of Tunisia is a little bit smaller than the state of Georgia. It has a population density of 192.5 people per square mile, or 74.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Greece. 64.8% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 6.6% is made up of forestry. It has a median age of 32.7 years, as well as a life expectancy of 78.1 years for females, and 74.5 years for males. 68.9% of the country's population is urban, and 31.1% is rural. Tunisia has a GNI per capita of $3,100. The Republic of Turkey is a little bit smaller than Pakistan. It has a population density of 290.4 people per square mile, or 112.1 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Hungary. 49.7% of its land is agricultural, and 14.9% is forestry. Turkish is the official language, and Islam is the most common religion, which makes up 99.8% of the population. It has a median age of 32.2 years, as well as life expectancy of 75.6 years for males, and 81 years for females. 75.1% of the nation is urban, and 24.9% is rural. Turkey has a GNI per capita of $9,050. Turkmenistan is a little bit bigger than the state of California. It has a population density of 34.4 people per square mile, or 13.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Chad. The country is landlocked, and primarily made up of desert. 72% of the nation's lands are used for agriculture, and 8.8% is made up of forestry. It has a median age of 29.2 years, as well as a life expectancy of 75 years for females, and 68.8 years for males. 51.6% of the population of the country is urban, and 48.4% is rural. Turkmenistan has a GDP per capita of $7,720. Tuvalu is a little bit bigger than Nauru. It has a population density of 1,050.5 people per square mile, or 406.3 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Belgium. 60% of the land in the nation is used for agriculture, and 33.3% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Protestant Christianity, which makes up 92.7% of the country's population. It has a median age of 26.6 years, as well as life expectancy of 66 years for males, and 70.9 years for females. 62.4% of the population is urban, and 37.6% is rural. Tuvalu has a GNI per capita of $5,820. The Republic of Uganda is a little bit smaller than the state of Oregon. It has a population density of 489.5 people per square mile, or 189 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Kuwait. 14.5% of the nation is made up of forests. English and Swahili are the official languages of the country, and Christianity is the most common religion, which makes up 84.4% of the population. It has a median age of 15.7 years, as well as life expectancy of 71.3 years for females, and 66.7 years for males. 89.4% of the country is rural, and 10.6% is urban. Uganda has a GNI per capita of $800. Ukraine is a little bit smaller than the state of Texas. It has a population density of 185.1 people per square mile, or 71.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Bosnia and Herzegovina. 71.2% of the country is used for agriculture, and 16.8% is forestry. Ukrainian is the official language, which is spoken by 67.5% of the population of the country. It has a median age of 41.2 years, as well as life expectancy of 65.2 years for males, and 74.4 years for females. 69.7% of the population is urban, and 30.3% is rural. Ukraine has a GNI per capita of $3,540. The United Arab Emirates is a little bit smaller than the state of Maine. It has a population density of 337.8 people per square mile, or 130.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Poland. 4.6% of the nation's land is used for agriculture, and 3.8% is made up of forestry. Arabic is the official language of the country. It has a median age of 38.4 years, as well as life expectancy of 81 years for females, and 78.2 years for males. 86.5% of the country's population is urban, and 13.5% is rural. The United Arab Emirates has a GNI per capita of $43,470. The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland is about twice as big as the state of Pennsylvania. It has a population density of 725 people per square mile, or 279.9 people per square kilometer, which is similar to the Gambia. 71% of the land is agricultural, and 11.9% is made up of forests. The most common religion is Christianity, which makes up 59.5% of the population. It has a median age of 40.6 years, as well as life expectancy of 79 years for males, and 82.9 years for females. 83.4% of the country is urban, and 16.6% is rural. The United Kingdom has a GNI per capita of $45,380. The United States of America is about half as big as South America. It has a population density of 89.3 people per square mile, or 34.5 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Kyrgyzstan. 44.5% of the land is used for agriculture, and 33.3% is forestry. It has the largest coal reserves in the world, with 27% of the Earth's supply. The United States contains Denali, which is the highest peak in North America, as well as Death Valley, which is the lowest point on the continent. The most common religion is Christianity, which is followed by 69.8% of the population. Mammoth Capes is the largest cave system in the world, with over 405 miles of known tunnels, and is located in the U.S. state of Kentucky. It has a median age of 38.5 years, as well as life expectancy of 82.8 years for females, and 78.4 years for males. 82.3% of the population is urban, and 17.7% is rural. The United States has a GNI per capita of $70,430. The Oriental Republic of Uruguay is a little bit smaller than the state of Washington. It has a population density of 47.8 people per square mile, or 18.4 people per square kilometer, which is similar to New Zealand. 10.2% of the nation is made up of forests. It's the second smallest country in South America after Suriname. Most of the people in the country live in the southern half. It has a median age of 35.5 years, as well as life expectancy of 74.7 years for males, and 81.2 years for females. 95.3% of the country's population is urban, and 4.7% is rural. Uruguay has a GNI per capita of $15,830. The Republic of Uzbekistan is a bit bigger than the state of California. It has a population density of 210 people per square mile, or 81.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Tunisia. 62.6% of the land is used for agriculture, and 7.7% is made up of forests. Uzbek is the official language, which is spoken by 74.3% of the population, and Islam is the most common religion, which makes up 88% of the nation. It has a median age of 30.1 years, as well as life expectancy of 75.8 years for females, and 71.7 years for males. 50.6% of the country is urban, and 49.4% is rural. Uzbekistan has a GNI per capita of $1,670. The Republic of Vanuatu is a little bit bigger than the state of Connecticut. It has a population density of 68.8 people per square mile, or 26.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Peru. 36.1% of the land is made up of forests, and 15.3% is used for agriculture. Islam, French, and English are official languages in the country. It has a median age of 23 years, as well as life expectancy of 73.5 years for males, and 76.9 years for females. 75.1% of the population is rural, and 24.9% is urban. Vanuatu has a GNI per capita of $853. The state of Vatican City is almost 120 times smaller than Manhattan. It has a population density of 3,049 people per square mile, or 1,177 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Bermuda. Venezuela. It has no income tax. The Roman Observer is a daily newspaper published in Vatican City, which began in 1861 and is one of the most influential newspapers in Italy. The Swiss Guards are a group of Swiss soldiers that protect the Pope, which began in 1506. The Vatican Apostolic Library is located in Vatican Palace and contains 1.6 million printed books, as well as 150,000 manuscripts. The Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela is a little bit more than twice as big as California. It has a population density of 95.4 people per square mile, or 36.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Laos. 52.1% of the land is made up of forests, and 24.5% is used for agriculture. It has a median age of 30 years, as well as life expectancy of 76.6 years for females, and 70.1 years for males. 88.2% of the country's population is urban, and 11.8% is rural. Venezuela has a GNI per capita of $4,061. The Socialist Republic of Vietnam is a little bit bigger than Malaysia. It has a population density of 784.6 people per square mile, or 303 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Pakistan. 34.8% of the land is used for agriculture. Vietnamese is the official language of the nation, and most of the population is culturally Buddhist. It has a median age of 31.9 years, as well as life expectancy of 71.1 years for males, and 76.4 years for females. 65.6% of the country is rural, and 34.4% is urban. Vietnam has a GNI per capita of $2,660. The Republic of Yemen is about 4 times as big as the state of Alabama. It has a population density of 186.1 people per square mile, or 71.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Afghanistan. 44.5% of the nation is used for agriculture, and 1% is made up of forestry. The most common religion is Islam, which is followed by 99.1% of the country's population. It has a median age of 19.8 years, as well as life expectancy of 65.9 years for females, and 64.1 years for males. 63.4% of the population is rural, and 36.6% is urban. Yemen has a GNI per capita of $833. The Republic of Zambia is a little bit smaller than the state of Texas. It has a population density of 69.4 people per square mile, or 26.8 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Somalia. 31.7% of the nation's land is used for agriculture. English is the official language, though it is only spoken by 1.7% of the population. It has a median age of 16.9 years, as well as life expectancy of 64.5 years for males, and 68.1 years for females. 56.5% of the country is rural, and 43.5% is urban. Zambia has a GNI per capita of $1,190. The Republic of Zimbabwe is a little bit bigger than the state of Montana. It has a population density of 102.5 people per square mile, or 39.6 people per square kilometer, which is similar to Mozambique. 42.5% of the land is used for agriculture, and 39.5% is made up of forests. There are 16 different official languages in the nation. It has a median age of 20.5 years, as well as life expectancy of 68 years for females, and 61.2 years for males. 67.8% of the country's population is rural, and 32.2% is urban. Zimbabwe has a GNI per capita of $1,090.